But let's just start off by you, actually, Brandi, if you could just go ahead and debunk some common myths that prevent people from exploring their psychic abilities, and how do these misconceptions hold them back?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I'm so glad that you are able to see that you have that extra sense. So, psychic abilities are really having that extra sensory perception. And a lot of people think that we aren't all psychic. And that is definitely a big misconception because we all have our five physical senses, but then we also have our intuition, which is our sixth sense, which is our psychic sense. So those words are all interchangeable. If you have intuition, that you are psychic, and we all have it, so we are all psychic. But you might not realize that you're having intuitive experiences, like that feeling whenever you enter a room, or you might dismiss it as something. So yeah, that's actually your psychic experience that you're having. But some other ones, a lot of people think that you can't turn it off once you develop it. So they might be afraid to develop it because then they might think that spirits will just be contacting them all day. But it's actually, if you don't know how to develop it, they can actually talk to you all day. But if you know how to develop it, you can turn it off. And even if someone doesn't want their ability, they actually have to develop it to turn it off completely. So yeah, that's a big myth there, is that you can't turn it off. Trust me, you can turn it off. Like, I would not be even in the human realm if I couldn't turn it off. So yeah, you have to be able to turn it off. Another one, of course, is that it's scary. And so a lot of people are fearful of it. But I think people have a misconception that it has something to do with the occult, or that you're a witch or something like that. And it's really not. It's about spirituality. It's about your finding your personal growth journey, figuring out who you are, what you want in life, to live this more true, authentic life to yourself. And that can include talking to your spirit guides that are there giving you guidance, or having those cautionary tales of don't go down this road right now, like that. You can really tune into yourself. So I think that's a misconception. The fear is more the fear of the unknown, because you don't know what spirit might be there talking to you, and you might be afraid of the message because you don't know who it's for or how to put it into your life for action. So that's why I think it's really important to have a mentor, whether it's me or somebody else, because at least they've already been on that path before you, that they can now say, I've been there, you're not crazy. Like, there's nobody can say anything that I think is crazy because I've heard it all, I've experienced it all, I feel like. So when you can have someone to encourage you and to not be afraid of that, and when you can really trust your intuition, it really diminishes your fear level. So that's really important as well. Another fear is that, or I'm sorry, another misconception is that people think they can't develop it later in life. Like, oh, I've had it this whole time, I never did anything with it. But, a lot of my clients are in their 60s. And even my mentor was like 62, and she had only been doing it for like 5 years. So it's just like anything else, playing the drums, playing basketball, like if you want to do something when you're older, like absolutely anybody can do it. Trying to think of some other myths that might hold people back. And other people think it's not for me. It's for, the psychics on TV. It's for Tyler Henry. It's for Teresa Caputo. It's not for little old me. And I felt that way too. I was like, I'm not going to become famous with this, but, if you can heal someone, and if you can comfort them and maybe give them advice for their future from their spirit guides, like, I feel like it's for everyone, because if you can help someone with it, it's for you. If you want to help other people and learn how to do it, it's absolutely for you. It's for anyone that has an interest, that has a passion in it, that's, excited about it. It's definitely for them. I think those are
Wow.
the main ones.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's awesome. Thank you so much for that. I remember the movie. Have you seen the movie Ghost? This is from my years in the 90s, with Patrick Swayze and
Oh yeah.
Whoopi Goldberg.
Whoopi Goldberg,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I just remember the movie, and then like she's just like, shut up, Sam, because he kept on like bugging her. Is it like that at all? Where you're just like, come on, spirit, leave me alone. I don't want to hear anything. That's what I always
So
laughed
it's
about.
basically, it's like having a storefront, like having your office hours, and just like you would place a
Oh.
boundary with a human, you do the same thing with spirit. Because if spirits are my clients, and if they were to just come whenever they wanted, I would always be working. So yeah, you really have to, like I wake up in the morning and I say, these are my office hours today. You can bug me through this time to this time, but not during this time. But you still might get that spirit that's like, is the door open a little bit? And you really have to be like, no, I'm not talking to you right now. But you always have power over spirit. So even if one is like nagging at you and bugging you, you can always like just turn it down, because you have power over spirit to just tell them like, no, you need to leave me alone, because it's a waste of giving me this message. I'm not going to do anything with it unless you wait and do it on my terms and respect my boundaries.
I love that. So that way it's like open communication, just like anybody here on earth. You're just like, well, there
Yes.
are spirits too, they're just in a body.
Yes.
so, so same thing. That's awesome.